A very good morning to all of you. Now, from today, we are going to start the network function. Now, before starting with the network function, first we will have to understand the network or a circuit and its network element. Now, the network element can be classified into two types. As you know that the network is a combination of the active and the passive element. So active element are those element which can produce energy, whereas the passive element are those element which consumes energy which is coming from the active element. Now to understand this concept, we will draw one circuit. So this one is a DC source. Then you are having a resistor. As you know that the passive element are of three types. The first one will be the resistor, then second one will be the inductor, and third one will be the capacitor. So you can have the combination of all these three elements also. Now in this case, I am using the combination of resistor and the capacitor. So this one is Vs and this one is C. Now this is a current because if you close the circuit at t equal to 0, so there will be a short circuit, and you know that when you are having a DC source and the circuit is closed, then the current is bound to flow. So now if you want to write the equation for this simple circuit in the time domain, so how you are going to write? This one is minus Vs, then this one is plus Ri. Now how you are going to write the voltage across the capacitor? So it is written as 1 by C integration of I into dt equal to 0. Now in this case you are having the integral term. It means you will have to provide the lower and the upper limits for this integral. So the lower limit will be t equal to 0 because you want to find the behavior of the circuit after t equal to 0. So we are taking the lower limit as t equal to 0 and the upper limit will be any time t. So this is any time t, that is after 2 hours, after 3 hours, after 4 hours. If you want to find, if you want to estimate the behavior of the system, then in that case you have to write this equation minus Vs plus Ri plus 1 by C integration of t equal to 0 to t I into dt. Now this equation is very complicated as this equation involves the integral term and it is very difficult to analyze. So if you want to simplify this expression, so you will have to convert the domain, you will have to convert the entire circuit, you will have to convert the behavior of all three passive element of all element and the active element. Now if you want to convert this equation into the yes domain, so how you are going to do it? So in this case, this will be minus Vs upon S. Now, if the R will remain constant because R is always, it is the energy consumed element. If you provide some current into R, it is always going to dissipate. So minus Vs upon S plus R into I of S. Now how this capacitor will behave? Now you see here integral is there. So integral means what? 1 upon S. So 1 by Cs into I of S, this will be equation. Now this is the simple algebraic equation and it is very easy to solve. So you will get some ratio, that is Vs upon Is in this case. So why we are shifting from time domain to the S domain? Because in the time domain you might get the differential and the integral term, so which is very difficult to solve. Now we want to write the network function for this circuit. So how you are going to write the network function for this? Now network function is always the ratio of something to something. Now what is something? Now, in this case, suppose you take any circuit, you are having two port, that is the input port and the output port. The input port is a port from where you are giving some energy, and the output port is a port from where you are taking the energy and giving it to the load. So if you are taking the ratio of the input variables, that is also called a network function. If you are taking the ratio of the output variables, that is also the network function. Now, what are the variables? So when you are having voltage and when you are having current, so these can be termed as the variables. So the input variables will be having the input current and the input voltage. Similarly, output variables will be having the output current and the output voltage. Now, if I want to write the network function for this, so I have to write like this, that is f of s will be equals to n of s upon d of s. Now, this n of s is the numerator of the network function and d of s is the denominator of the network function. So if I want to expand this numerator, so I am going to write this as minus s minus z1, then s minus z2, then so on to s minus zm. Similarly, if you want to expand the denominator, so how you are going to write, this is s minus p1, s minus p2, then this one is s minus pn. Now, in this case, Z1, Z2, Z3, they are the zeros of the transfer, zeros of the network function, Now, similarly, P1, P2, P3, and so on, they are the poles of the network function. Now, in this case, there will be two terms, that is zeros and the poles. So, we are going to discuss the zero and the pole in few minutes. So numerator will be having always the zeros of the network function, and denominator will be having the poles of the network function. So I have written the generalized expression for the network function. So in some circuit, you might get three poles, two zeros. So it depends on the combination of the active or the passive element. Normally, it is depends on the combination of the passive element. Now, this zero are always represented by a circle, and poles are always represented by a cross. You note this point and keep this point in your head, that the zeros are always represented uh, by a circle, that is zero, or and poles are always represented by a cross. So now we will try to understand the pole zero plot. So what we have seen, that the network function is a ratio of the numerator and denominator. This numerator can be anything. It can be a voltage, it can be a current. Similarly, denominator can be anything. It can be a voltage, it can be a current. Suppose if you want to find the impedance of some circuit, then how you are going to find? So impedance means what? That is Z. Z means what? V upon I. So in you can see here, in this case the numerator is a voltage and denominator is the current. Now this voltage can be of any either of the port, that it might be from the input port or from the output port. So now we are going to draw the pole zero plot by taking one simple example. So now we will take the example to find the I of t by using the pole zero diagram. But before finding the pole zero diagram, we will try to understand how to plot the zeros and the pole in the pole zero diagram. Now you know that we are having this question, that is find I of t by the pole zero diagram method. So in this case, the network function will be in terms of current, and it is in the S domain. So I of S will be equals to 20S upon S plus 5 upon S plus 2. So now if you equate this with the this generalized expression, now you can see, as I have just written, that this is the generalized expression of the network function. That is f of s will be equals to h into s minus z1, s minus z2 up to s minus zm. So you are having zeros in the numerator and poles in the denominator. So if you equate these two functions, so what you are going to get, now this 20 is a constant parameter, is a constant term. Now this is the h value, so we have written h equals to 2. Now you can see in the numerator you are getting s, you are getting only one s. It means that this network function will be having only one zero, and similarly you are having two poles. So one pole will be at s plus 5 and second pole will be at s plus 2. But you have to plot in the pole 0 diagram. Now, if I want to plot in the pole 0 diagram, you know that if I want to plot the 0 in the pole 0, then you will have to draw with a circle. And if I want to draw this pole in the pole 0 diagram, then you will have to draw with the cross. So how many zeros are there? So number of zeros will be equals to 1 and number of poles will be equals to 2. The first pole will be at s plus 5 and second pole will be at s plus 2. So you will have to equate this s plus 5 with 0, s plus 2 with 0. Then you will get the two poles. So we will try to um, draw in the open board to understand this concept in a more clearer manner. Just now we have seen the I of s equals to 20s upon s plus 5 into s plus 2. We have made a discussion that there is only one zero and two poles are there. So if I want to find the location of the pole or the position of the pole and zero, so what I have to do? So you will have to equate this s with a zero. Then s plus 5 will be equal to 0. Then s plus 2 will be equal to 0. So what you will get, so you are having 0 at the origin, then the first pole will be at minus 5, that is on the real negative real axis, and the third one will be again on the negative real axis but at location minus 2. So now you have to draw the pole 0 plot. So s can be written as sigma plus j omega. So this s domain will be in the form just like your xy plane. So x will be your real axis and y will be your imaginary axis. So we are going to draw like this. So this will be sigma and this will be j omega. Now this will start from the origin, and you know that you are having one zero at the origin, that you are going to represent it by a circle. Now similarly you are having pole at minus 2, so we have represented that pole by the cross. Now similarly at minus 5 you are again having one pole. So in this way you have to draw the pole 0 plot of the network function. So now, but our ultimate aim is to find the I of t. Now, how you are going to find the I of t? So first, you will have to take the inverse Laplace transform. So before taking the inverse Laplace transform, you will have to split this I of s into two or three part. Now, in this case, you will have to split the I of s into two part, as we are having only two poles. So by using the partial fraction method, so how you are going to do, I of s will be equals to a upon s plus 5 plus b upon s plus 2. So you are having the first coefficient, that is a, and the second coefficient, that is b. Now if I want to find this a and b using the pole 0 diagram method, then how you are going to do it? So now in this case, I of s will be equals to a upon s plus 5 plus b upon s plus 2. So now you will have to find the coefficient a and the coefficient b. Now you know that there is a link between a and the 5. So when you have to find a, then you have to take this pole as a reference, and with respect to this pole you will have to find the distance of this pole from the 0 and this pole from the other pole. Fine. So calculate the value of A at P2 will be equals to -2 and Z will be equal to 0. So now how you are going to find the A? So there is a formula of this that A will be equals to product of, please have a look, product of the phasor distance from each 0 to a reference pole. Now in this case, what is the reference pole? Now because A is linked with the -5, so in this case -5 is the reference pole. Now similarly, product of the phasor distance from each from each pole to pole to the reference pole, you can say. So you will have to find the distance of this distance between the -5 and the -2, and here you have to find the distance between the -5 and the 0. Now -5 and 0, so 0 is the reference, 0 is the 0 and -2 is the another pole. So we will try to find the A value. So how you are going to find? So before that, we will try to draw the pole zero diagram. So that will give the clear picture of this. So 0 is at 0. Then one pole will be at -2 and another pole will be at -5. Now here -5 is the reference pole. The -5 as the reference pole. Now with respect to -5, you have to find the distance from between the 0 and this reference pole, and distance between the another pole and the reference pole. Fine. So A will be h into. So this one is for the numerator, and when the numerator is coming into the picture, that time you will have to take the distance of pole and the 0 into account. Fine. So what is the distance between 0 and 5? Now, when you are going to find the phasor distance, that time you will have to take both magnitude and the phase. So magnitude and the phase, it means that so when you are taking the phase, that time you will have to move in the anti-clockwise direction. So when you are moving from this point to this point, because ultimately you will have to travel this much point now. So but you are moving it in the anti-clockwise direction. So this is what how much is the angle? That is 180 will be the angle. And what is the distance? You see the distance between 0 and 5 will be 5, that is magnitude is 5 and angle will be 180. Now similarly you have to write for uh, the another pole. Now the 0 case is over. Now you will have to write the phasor distance for the another pole. Now this is the reference pole. Now you see what is the distance. Again you have to move in the anti-clockwise direction. So this one will be what is the distance? So 2 minus 5 minus 2, that is 3. But you are moving in the anti-clockwise direction, so 180. Now what is the h? We have just seen that h is a constant term, so constant will remain as it is. So 5 angle 180 upon 3 angle 180. So if you solve this expression, so what you are going to get? So you will get the value as suppose this is 100 by 3, that is 33.33 will be your A value. So 33.3. So what you have done, so in this case, when you have to find the coefficient, that time you will have to take the reference pole. Now in this case, what is the reference pole? -5, because A is linked with the -5. So take this -5 as the constant value, keep -5 as the constant, and try to find the distance through another pole and the 0. So in this case, first you will have to find the distance between 0 and the reference pole, and then you will have to find the distance between another pole and the reference pole. Fine. So when you are going to find the phasor distance, that time you will have to take the anti-clockwise direction. And when you are moving in the anti-clockwise direction, so 180 degree will come into a picture. Fine. Now for the case 2. Now case 2, what will is your coefficient. In the case 2, b is your coefficient. So keep this a as a in your mind. So now we are going to write the b. So we have to find the b. Now you see here b is linked with the minus 2. So in this case minus 2 is your reference pole. So what will be the change here? So in this case the another pole will become the another pole. The another pole will become minus 5. Please make this correction. So B will be, we have to calculate the coefficient B, and the another pole will be what? P1 will be equals to minus 5, because this B is linked with the minus 2, and 0 is always 0 is always there. Fine. So now you have to find B. So H into, so product of this phasor distance from this reference pole with the 0, because the numerator will be having only a 0. So you will have to calculate the distance between the 0 and the reference pole. So this is the reference pole. This is the reference pole. So I'll change the color. Now see, now find the distance. Again, you have to move in the anti-clockwise direction, and the distance is only 2 meter, or you can say 2 centimeter, or you can say 2 kilometer. So 2 magnitude is 2, and the angle will be how much? Again, you have to turn in this direction. So 2 angle 180 degree will be there. Now, the distance between this and this. Now you see, the reference pole is here. The reference pole is here and another pole is here. So you are moving in this direction only. No, you are not going to turn in this direction, because your reference pole is here. Your reference pole is not above minus 5. So in this case, what will be your angle? First, you will have to calculate the magnitude. So magnitude will be 3, and angle will be what? You see, the angle will be 0 only, because minus 2 is not here. Minus 2 is just below, just smaller than the minus 5. So what will be your angle phasor distance? That is 0. So if I will solve this, now h is a constant, that is a constant term, and 2 angle 180 upon 3 angle 0. So if you can solve it, then what you are going to get? 13.33 angle 180. So if I solve this again, so this will be minus 13.33. Then you can solve it in the calculator. If you are having the ES calculator for network related problems, you always use ES calculator, because MS will be involving many calculations. So now you are having A as 33.33 and B as minus 13.33. So what you have done, I of S will be equals to A 33.33 upon S plus 5. Then this one is minus 13.33 upon S plus 2. Now just take the inverse Laplace transform. So after taking the inverse Laplace transform, so what you are going to get? 33.33 e to the power minus 5 of t, because if I want to take the inverse Laplace of this, so what will be the value? This will be e to the power of minus 5t. You have already seen this in your mathematics. That will be e to the power minus of 80. Now similarly, this plus minus, so minus will be there. 13.33 again, that is the s plus 8 term. So e to the power of minus t. So in this way, you can easily evaluate the current in the time domain from the pole zero diagram. So for that pole zero diagram, first you need your expression in the S domain. And when you are having the expression in the S domain, that time you will having two things. The first, you will be having the zeros in the numerator and the poles in the denominator. So you will have to plot the poles and the zeros in the pole diagram, and then you have to split the I of s, that is f of s, into all three parts depending upon the number of poles. Now in our case, the number of poles will be 2. Then you keep one as the reference pole and try to find the distance of 0 with that reference pole, because in the numerator you will be facing 0 and in the denominator you will be facing the pole. So you will have to find the distance of the 0 from the reference pole, then another pole from the reference pole. So we have done the same thing in this problem, and we have evaluated the I of t. So in this way you can solve any problem. This is all about today's class. We will meet tomorrow.